Welcome YouTube to another edition of Florida Scout. I'm your host Ron Barney, and let's go Scout. Just a quick look of where the heck is Pinebrook Estates. We're on the old Google Maps. We're going to zoom in. And this is it right here. Zooming back out, showing that we're going between Clearwater and St. Petersburg out west of Tampa. And let's take a look at our drive plan. So the plan for Pinebrook Estates, we're going to start here at 118th and 66th Street, westbound. We're going to go right on 76th, right on 119th, right again on 120th, north to 121st, take 68th Way up to 126th, down land, down 122nd, and out 121st. That's the plan. There will be probably a few improvisations as we go along, construction or whatever, but this is where we intend to go. We should soon be coming up on 66th Street, which will be the beginning of Pinebrook Estates. Probably just another block or two coming up here. As we make our approach, we're seeing tons and tons of new road construction, building some kind of overpass, high pass bridge thing. The area we passed is highly industrial, more so than it looked on the map. Hard to tell what we're passing here, there's no sign. I'm going to assume that was 66th. Yeah, it's urban enough and industrial enough that you feel like you gotta wear a hard hat just driving through this area. Talking to some guy with a clipboard and blueprints and stuff. That's the feel so far. This is 66th Street. So now we're starting into it. Okay. I just realized I need to go straight. Boom, for sale sign right there. Right as we enter Pinebrook Estates, we got a for sale. It's a business for sale. Boat something. Way down to the left, you can't see it on the screen, but there's a big billboard for Trump. That's kind of unexpected in the St. Pete, Clearwater, Pinellas County area. I kind of figured it from more of a liberal place. Used to have a coworker who was LGBTQ, and she really loved this county. Yeah, that's definitely a boat lot that's for sale. They used to sell boats and now they don't. And the industrial feel to the east of Pinebrook Estates is giving way to more of a residential feel, which is good. It's a sense of there's some blue-collar jobs to the east, and there's probably some rental units around here. And I do see apartment units. Plastics, warehouse, just making sure the silver alert's not for me. Coming up on 76 pretty soon here. School bus depot to the north of us there. Water service. This should be it. Well, it's not it. We'll make it work anyway. Should still intersect with 119. It should. We're in it now, in Pinebrook Estates, and it is certainly more industrial than I anticipated. we're still in the area. We're still good. Warehouses. More warehouses. Handwritten sign saying we buy all houses. So if you're an investor in this area, you got competition already. Lots of multi-fams here. Looks like fourplexes. Dead end. So we're going to cut right here and re-get our bearings and restart when we're back on plan. Okay, we're back on the straight and narrow. Not so straight, but it is narrow. These are some pretty nice houses. You turn and it just hits you. People with money live here. Not like big money, but still. Upper middle class, I might say. Or just a smidge on the upper side. Okay, now we're back in the middle of the middle class, but still. Back there on 76th Street, that was some pretty nice houses. And these are about middle of the road, mid-scale. Not much, if any, rehab required on anything around here. And now we're bumping back up to somewhat higher pricey homes, on the left at least. Yeah, if the people that, you know, if you buy here and you rent here, there are a lot of industrial parks, companies, areas that provide jobs. And it kind of shows here that those jobs are available. Hardly any of these places are for sale or empty. It's just nice. That's really all I can say. Not a whole lot of indicators up or down, but it's just solidly, just kind of like that Florida equivalent of white picket fences, where you got the palm trees and the lush green yards. And we are solidly back on plan. But we're seeing, what we see is what we get, and what we see is good stuff. very well maintained houses. Nobody's letting anything go. Fresh paint everywhere you look, except that fence there. It's the exceptions that prove the rule. Looking at vehicles, it's a very interesting RV there. Middle-class vehicles, Infinitis, Hondas, Saturn, Dodge Ram. So there's nothing that would modify middle class up or down. So this is just rock solid in the B type area. And I would be surprised if there was any crime above the Florida or national averages. It just doesn't look like anybody has concerns. I don't even see a lot of security system signs. It's like if Leave It to Beaver was filmed in Florida, they'd film it here. Let's go back into the interior. Okay, got some landscape issues and some mobile homes. So there are some parts of this area that are a little bit more distressed, probably B minus, C plus. Mobile homes. Run down mobile home. Yeah, in terms of the niceness of the area, it's going to be dependent on what part of Pinebrook Estates you look. The eastern part, which is where we're at now, is more run down. The western part is more solidly middle class. Yeah, beware of dog. I'm totally aware of the dog, thanks. Although, kind of to be fair of the mobile home residents, it's much harder to keep a mobile home in good shape. The elements just really slam those kinds of structures. Any scratch of exposed metal, you're going to get rust. Same thing with wood. Any exposed wood, you're going to get rot. So they're cheap, but a couple years in the elements, and they're not going to look good. But that means if any of them come up for sale, they'll be very affordable, and rehab mostly would have to do with exterior paint. A Quonset hut garage. And that one's for sale. Rehab City, though. And we're back up to 126, so this is the end of all our plans. So that was Pinebrook Estates. And visually, I would give it a mixed review. I would say it just depends on what part. It'll be solid middle class on the west, and sort of a C plus or C in the east. Let's go back to the studio. Numbers time for Pinebrook Estates. All right. Looking at crime, we're a little bit above the national average by 25%, 23% above the Florida average. Violent crime, just a smidge, 1%, eking out ahead. Property crime, 30%, 27%. So crime is, it's a little iffy, it's a little off. Kind of don't like the property crime. Average home value, $275. Average rent, $135. It's okay on our Florida benchmark of 0.3% for rent to value, but for average cash flow and cash on cash ROI, we do not like it. The numbers do not project on average any kind of a good profitability. And I think even if you bargain hunt in this area, it's not likely that you're going to find anything that is going to work out profit-wise. So here we're going to have to give Pinebrook Estates an avoid. This comes as kind of a surprise because I was impressed by what I saw visually. There were some really good-looking homes there, and it felt like a really good area, but when you pull up the numbers just don't support it. So give it an avoid. So that was Pinebrook Estates, and we'll see you next time on Florida Scout.